Guilt and remorse weigh heavy upon her shoulders. Each step taken was once cushioned by her sister's home, a lush forest, the forest of Voika. Now her feet drag silt and ash, a grey carved path of regret. The daughter of Ash is, or was, one of many daughters of Voika, a forest ordained by Murgo, the god of the relentless. Signs of Murgo being greenery, nature, and plant life. The daughters of Voika were seemingly charged with the task of protecting and communing with the forest of Voika, maintainers and devoted believers in nature's ultimate return. It is said such was their devotion that most of the daughters transcended humanity, the ones remaining including our subject today. The daughter of Ash is not a follower of another place, but the daughter of what appears to be a fallen Voika, burnt and destroyed. She failed to protect her home and speaks only the phrase, "I am but a coward." This seems to suggest that she couldn't bring herself to intervene at a dire moment, became too frightened, scared, or simply ran from the threat of the forest. This threat, ultimately, being its doom. I have a suspicion some of the Ash Daughters story will intermingle with Vermis I, so please forgive me if I miss anything. And if I do, please let me know in the comments. I'd actually love to know more about Vermis I. Still got to get that. Anyway, the daughter of Ash carries 2 items. These items tell us what her goal would most likely be, and I believe we see that goal partially achieved later on. The first item is the tear of Voika, the last flower of the forest. The life force of its carrier prevents it from wilting. In return, it offers melancholic memories to the holder. So this flower is slowly draining the life force from the Ash Daughter as she carries it, and we see her carrying it gently in both upturned hands. This gives me the impression that gameplay, as the Daughter of Ash, would have almost no active combat. I see it more as a solemn walking simulator. Kind of like if Shadow of the Colossus had no Colossus or a horse, and you just slowly walk through dungeons and spaces. One wrong move and you drop the flower, which dies, or you take extra damage. The second item, Murgo's seed, a powerful gift. This seed is able to grow an entire forest within months. With these 2 items combined, the Daughter of Ash seems to be tasked by Murgo or themselves to restore Voika, find a place for a new forest, a place to have Voika return. How or why this ends up being past the stone sphinx deep in the mirror is hard to say. Incidentally, it only just occurred to me, but sphinxes being known for telling riddles to allow passage, I wonder if an eye for an eye is the answer to the ultimate riddle of how to leave the mirror. The Wayfarer spent their life cutting off heads. It seems only fitting that the way they leave is by having their own lopped off. The Ash Daughter's stats are honestly quite good. 4 mind and will, 1 faith, and 2 strength. Though again, I think giving her mission, she would be hard-pressed to enter into any type of fight given the delicate cargo she carries. Her journey takes her deep past the mirror, beyond the Whispering Fountain, and into the sealed lands. It is here the Wayfarer comes across a lush world, forests, mountains, and tall ancient towers reaching up towards the sky. This forest, one could assume, was the result of the Daughter of Ash planting Murgo's seed, potentially meaning she had arrived long before the Wayfarer, her body rotted away or time moving differently. The name, Sealed Lands, also suggests the perfect conditions to grow a forest that won't suffer from the desert, fire, harvesting, or other potential threats. The Eclipse Towers are consecrated ground intended for the seeking of enlightenment, devotees sealed within chanting mantras as they dwell in faithful searching. These devotees, I wonder if they are in fact other daughters of Voika who transcended, though why they're sealed doesn't quite make any sense, but just hear me out. This is just one of those more fun speculations. Inside the Eclipse Towers reside the cloisterers, being at different stages of enlightenment, some mummified, some awakened, some purely nervous systems afloat in energy. The enlightened actually emits a high-pitched whistle, which I wonder is related to or invoking feelings of the flute wood forest of the first book, which I'd seen an image of in my research. Whistling and flutes also seems to be a reoccurring item or theme element in Vermis. I was curious if this was the transcendence of humanity, that the communing with nature or Mergo, you become light, unrelenting light. Light gives to plant life as well. The theme of Mergo being unrelenting and followers unrelenting is also touched upon by the touched by the light beings, who, it expressly says, cannot be destroyed. However, it is easy to argue that these are in fact just other strange devotees, sealed away for their sanity-draining mantras. Interesting to consider, though. As to a theory on who or what burnt the Voika forest in the first place, my thoughts lie with one of the other gods. As the Wayfarer journeys deeper, he has another dream. Quote, "The Wayfarer dreams about the unending sand plains of Adred. It is the 8th solstice. The clouds move at high speeds up in the skies, and his mouth tastes like ash." Immediately, the appearance and mention of ash says fire forest and the daughter of Ash, who I'd argue stands atop the hill within his dream. The ash aside, the mention of the 8th solstice was curious. Way back at the start of the book, there are a few pages displaying different locations and the solstices of the sun. Here, on the 8th solstice, is the Tower of Decay, Kedareth's fingers, Kedareth being the god of wrath. The symbol or depiction of Kedareth being a white hive ball, I believe, shrouded in flames. It seems fitting that a god of wrath with the Tower of Decay would be opposed to a god of relentless nature. Though who acts on behalf of Kedareth is hard to say. Another character does so, but it more seems that Kedareth encourages acts of wrath for their own ends and not their godly ones. Either way, whatever burned the forest of Voika, I wonder, had been given the drive to do so by Kedareth for whatever reason. The eventual fate of the daughter of Ash is seen much later. A page displays the daughter of the crystal forest. A frozen corpse hides within this frozen forest. Humanity lost long ago. Her promise to protect the lands has kept her cold bones wandering through the forest. An unrelenting corpse guards a frozen forest. The eventual winter falling upon the new forest within the sealed lands, if it is the same forest, is odd. This eventual crystal condition may simply be what happens in time, as I feel the daughter of Ash is forever trapped in the mirror, much like the others, unable to return as the bodies have died or the humanity cannot allow it. The daughter of the crystal forest is also definitely 100% a boss encounter for the Wayfarer in the Vermis II game. Yeah, that's very Dark Souls. Anyway, thank you for watching. I've been Haunted Picnic, and I'll see you next time.